Live. Alright. I am Mike TheZorch, and this is the last day I'm going to be doing this staggered. Be doing this every morning starting Monday. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Got started a little late today. Here everything is set. Alright. Everything's set. I can see the screen. Wish I had dual screens, that way I could see if I'm fully in frame or not on here. And I've got Discord open so that anyone who chooses to join in Discord can do so. Check that as well. Yep. Okay, that went out. Okay. Alright, notifications have gone out. And I'm live. And I've got the I've got notifications on Restream. Will do some of the notifications, and it will send out via Facebook, Twitter, and stuff. Let everybody know that I'm live, and give everybody you know, URLs to everywhere I'm streaming: Twitch, YouTube, Mixer. Get ready. Bike into position. I tried this with the new chair. This is a brand new chair. I put the pad back on that I use. The back's not as high as the old one. I rest my head back there. I put the pad on here so I can rest my head on here when I lean back and I'm just petting the furry thing over here. He's curling up on my bed and getting ready to go to sleep. Like every time I do this, she's over here cleaning herself on the bed, getting ready to go to sleep. Talking about you. Anyway, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. You know, whenever you get a new chair and you're a fluffy guy or gal, you got to break that chair in. And I'm not squeezing into these arms as badly as I thought I would. Because when I got the chair, when I originally got the old chair, I had to squeeze into it a little bit. Found out, I was reminded by Tygra where the old chair came from. Actually, it's not one I bought, it's a hand-me-down. It used to be his. So that chair is way older than that, because he had that chair for, oh god, I don't know if he had that chair since we were living in Virginia. If that's so, that chair is way older than 10 years. It's almost 20 years. And yeah, that chair was really old. And it's sitting in the kitchen. I use it to sit in the kitchen. It's a little higher than that piece of crap IKEA chair that I was using. And it's not as flimsy as that mesh chair that's at the desk where I do all the live streams from, with the green screen there with the streaming PC. So what I might do is take the back off. The back is really leaning back, it's all bent up and everything. So what I might do is take the back off and just leave it as a stool, a kind of stool to put on. I don't know, I might get another cylinder, I might get a replacement cylinder, somehow get that one off, put a new cylinder on it, that way I can sit higher. I'll see what I can do with that. Because I do need to sit a little higher in the kitchen than where I'm at currently. It is higher than the crappy IKEA chair. It is higher. And this chair's high. I mean, this thing gets high. I mean, it's high even on the low setting. I could raise this chair up and I'd be pretty high up. Anyway, I tried out the bike a little bit this morning. This chair, I might not need the strap to hold me in because of the height. Because I'm not really pushing away from the bike as I pedal. I might not need the strap anymore. Might not. I'll see. I'd like to get something that's a little easier to hook up than just, you know, a piece of wire cord that I have to tie and everything. I'd like one of those bungee cord things I can just hook, but not bungee cords, but the tie strap. But I had a longer version than that thing. The thing's still sitting down there. I can't use it because it's too dang short. Anyway, it's time. Pedal. Time to put the pedal to the metal so I can get rid of my middle. No more squeaky chair. No more squeaky noises. Except for this thing, which she barely makes any sound at all, except when she really wants attention. Yes, I wasn't talking about you, shithead. She knows her name, and when she really wants to, she'll come here when I tell her to come here. He's a smart cat. Oh, today I'm going to be working on a video for the Gamers Base series, and Old Gamer Plays Next. I've already done an Old Gamer Plays, so I've got an Old Gamer Plays Next coming, and we're going to be moving the Zorch Central show to Saturday instead of Friday. That way it's on the weekend, that way more people are home, they're able to tune into the show. You know, so I'm gonna move it to then, for me and Tygra to do the show then. Cover some topics from the week. Not a whole lot of news. Oh, there's a few things. Got 3 interesting topics to cover. And again, I'm the one who mostly does, you know, the curating of the topics, because he doesn't really follow gaming much. You know, he likes to interject his thoughts into things. No, he's a pretty smart guy. He interjects some of his thoughts and ideas into things. You know, that's why I have him on the show. He doesn't follow gaming like I do. Well, because gaming's sort of the business. You know, we're 2 gaming channels. Well, mine is more geek stuff and gaming. And Gamers Bay is all gaming. Gamers Bay is primarily retro gaming, which is why I'm doing the Old Gamer Plays series, where I'm covering the 2600. I just did golf. Occasionally I'll have Tygra on if I'm doing like a game that plays best as a 2-player. We've done, and I also did videos for a ton of Atari arcade games. A ton of them. All of these are in Atari Vault. All the games I've been covering are from Atari Vault. The Atari arcade games, all their vector graphics arcade games, and pixel art arcade games, the raster graphics. It's all been in the Atari Vault collection, which is on Steam. In those videos, I link to Atari Vault on Steam. You can get it. It's you know, those games are fun. They're from the early days. Those are the games that I grew up with. Atari 2600. After that, I'm going to move on to the Commodore 64. Now, I don't have an actual Commodore 64. I used to. And I also borrowed one from a friend for a time. But I'm going to have to use Vice, the emulator. Most of the games I'm going to be playing, you can't find anywhere else except to download them. Most of those games are gone. They're only available as image files. You know, or they're on, you know, media that's aging. That's why emulation is so important, because those old games are on media. It wasn't designed to last for a long time. Discs wear out, the material gets old, they break down. So, came out of the strap. Okay. So they break down, and you lose those games. That's why emulation is so important. That's why it's so important to have it, because those games on disc and cassette, we're gonna lose those games eventually, because the materials in them have a certain shelf life. And even if you take care of them, you know, you treat them with kid gloves, they will eventually break down over time and become unusable. Discs and cassettes, you know. So, having images of them and good emulation, or even beyond emulation, having something like a, what is that called? I'm a big proponent of it. Why can't I think of it now? Crap. Brain fart. Come on. Make me Google it. Shit. I'm having a brain fart. There's a technology, been around for a long time. It's right on the tip of my tongue. I'm a big proponent of it for retro gaming. It is basically silicon that has no discrete logic on it. You program the logic in microcode onto the chip, and then it will mimic basically almost anything. And it's very good at mimicking, the actual hardware. And it's better than emulation. It is significantly better than emulation, because it's not emulation. You're actually programming the discrete logic into the chip. You're actually, the language used is a descriptor language that describes the circuits. You're not emulating, you're not using software that emulates the technology. You're using an actual chip, and you're making that chip function exactly like the actual hardware. So it's fast, it's bare metal fast. There's no underlying software layer on top of the games that you're playing. FPGA. That's what I was thinking of. FPGA. Field Programmable forget, it's an acronym, but it's a chip that can be programmed to function like any other chip. And there's a group that's working to design an FPGA that mimics the Commodore Amiga, and it could be used to mimic a Commodore 64 or even a VIC-20 or Atari 2600. It's actually overkill for the 2600. They can mimic most anything. I mean, there's a retro console out there. It's like $100 and something bucks. Well, no, actually 400. And it uses FPGA, and it can play NES, Super NES games. I think also Sega Genesis. And it's not an emulation box. So I'm a big proponent of that. If a game is no longer in print, and that it should be preserved in some way, why not make an image and make it available for people to use with an emulator? The company that made it is gone. Unless you're actually going to do something with that game, sell it, put it out there. If the copyrights have expired, put it out there. Stop using copyright as a weapon. Stop using copyright to stifle culture. No. Why I also advocate for a policy called no sale, no recourse. What I mean by that is, you don't sell it, but someone pirates it. If someone pirates it and you don't sell it, maybe I do need that strap. Oh well. If you don't sell it and someone downloads it, you've got no legal recourse. I think that should be law. If you don't actually sell it and you don't make the sale price reasonable to people, and you don't make it available for people to get it in a reasonable way, and people download it, then you shouldn't have the right to go after anyone over copyright for it. Like these old games that are no longer in print, that aren't being sold as a part of a compilation of games or anything. You know, if someone downloads the ROMs, they're not available anywhere else, they're not being sold anywhere else, then it should have no copyright protection because it's not being sold. You should only have copyright protection on something that's actually in print, that's actually being sold and made available to people, and in such a way so that they don't have to jump through a bunch of hoops in order to get it. So that's what I believe that should be done. That should apply to everything, not just games. It should apply to movies. That should apply to books. That should apply to everything. If you don't use a copyright, it should only apply to a certain work, not an entire series of works. In other words, if you write something new in a particular series, you have to file a new copyright for it. But as stuff goes out of print, basically public domain should be enshrined in law. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Turn on the fan. It is hot. You're wanting attention, and I told you to get up here so I could pet you. Anyway, get off my soapbox about that. How copyright's really being abused seriously is just grinds my gears. I'm here. Yeah, I am sliding back. When I tested this, I wasn't before. I'm definitely gonna need to strap this down. Oh well. Snipping the mic. At least it's not one of them fuzzy covers on this, so she doesn't think it's a play toy. Yeah. Yeah, you. Push your head. Yeah. Pedals. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Yeah. My pedaling disturbing the cat. Huh? My pedaling disturbing the kitty. She'll fall asleep up here if I let her. When she was a tiny cat, I mean, when she was really tiny, a kitten. Yeah, now she's laying down. See? When she was a tiny cat. Whenever I was working on the computer and stuff, I would hold her and pet her and play with her. When she started falling asleep, what I would do is I had this bandana thing. It's not really a bandana, it's more of a little throw blanket thing. I would tie it around my neck and hang it like a little hammock thing, and she would lay in it and go to sleep. And now she likes going to sleep in my chest. Hey, you. I gotta sit up and pedal. It's making me slide backwards. Yeah. Plus you're making me warmer. I'm already overheating as it is. Oh, don't go to sleep. Oh, he's going to sleep. She likes to be warm. And she does this because she wants to be warm. She was a little kitten. We were living in the same park, but we were in a different trailer. The smaller one, we were renting that one. We own this one, but we are in a different one. And I went in the refrigerator for something. Dave was sitting in the kitchen. He was working on his laptop, and he said he heard cat meowing. Well, went, opened the refrigerator door. There she was, sitting on a couple of 2 liters of Coke. She climbed up in the refrigerator, little shit, and I didn't see her. And she has hated being cold ever since. I need to sit up. You need to get up. And you're also, like, in the sweat. Or... Boy. Yeah, strap. I'm gonna definitely need that strap. I'm gonna have to find another solution to hold this chair in place so I can use this thing. Now I can tell my I'm getting a little better at it. My legs are not being tired out as quickly as before. Been generally going for about 30 minutes on the exercise bike, and last time I turned the tension down one because it was a little too much, and so it's working out. It's actually working out for me. So this room is really hot. It's cold outside. We were 70 degrees yesterday, and then a cold front comes through and it brings a bunch of rain with it, and now it's 20. The high is going to be like 30, 40 something. But it was so cold last night, we actually had to put the water on trickle so that our pipes wouldn't freeze. It was down to below freezing. So we got the heat on, and with the booster I've got in my ventilation shaft over here, my room gets toasty. Which is why I've got a fan up there. I don't think you can see it in this no, you can't see it. But I've got a fan up on the wall over here, and I've got a little USB fan over here that blows on. Keep the other fan on all the time and circulate the air in here also. Just the heat would just linger. All right. I think I can go a little bit longer on the bike, like to at least get a real exercise out of this instead of just partial. All right. Now the squeaking you're actually hearing is not from the chair, it's from the exercise bike now. I was almost afraid the chair was starting to squeak. I want to try and go until my knees start really bothering me. My left one is starting to a little bit. My mom, before she passed away, had a condition where her kneecaps deteriorated. Don't think I have that. She had that. She didn't have any kneecaps. This chair's a little better put together than the old one too. The leather material is, I don't think this is real leather. I think the price would be a lot higher if it was. Probably pleather, plastic leather. But the pops on these handles are actually bolted on rather than snapped in with plastic clips. The bolts that hold these together looked a lot more robust. I think this will hold together a lot better than the old one did. It's got a 450-pound weight limit. I might be slightly over that, but I know I'm not 500. I might have been close. I feel like I need is for this bike to actually be up off the ground a little more. Sort of like what the exercise bikes were like at Valley when we used to go there in Maryland. I almost need this to be sitting on top of some kind of box. Preferably a wooden box to hold it. And then I can pedal it like a regular, you know, incline exercise bike. I need something that would hold it. It has to be made of wood, of course. Strong enough to hold this thing because it's heavy. Thing's like 50 pounds. I'd have to look into that and do what I would need to build it and how high it would need to be. I'd need to reinforce it because there would be a lot of force stresses on it. Have it up so I can actually pedal with this thing like an incline exercise bike. I like using those. Like I used those more than the treadmills when we were there. But that was years ago. That was back when we were still in Maryland, when there was one right nearby. There is an exercise place, but no, that's a good distance, and no. Getting everybody up at the same time in the morning to go and everything was, and the fact that there's the public transportation around here is a joke. There is a bus, but it's a joke. Dave's the only one who can drive. Okay. Overheating a little bit. A lot more. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna switch to the weights now. get this behemoth out of the way. Grab this. At some point in all this, I can stand for a longer time. I'm gonna do this standing up. Right now, this is fine. Oh. Okay, my arms are tired. My legs are tired. My cat is tired. All right. Anybody that's joined or will be watching this later, thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking around. I'm going to be doing this every day next week. So no more Monday, Wednesday, and Friday thing. I'll be doing this every day because every little bit helps. You know, the diet makes us lose weight, but the exercise helps accelerate it. So, you know, I suffered depression and I let myself go. I just stopped caring about everything. And my current fluffiness is a result. And, you know, if you're suffering depression, get help. It helps to talk to people, helps to have a sympathetic ear. You don't have to suffer alone. I suffered alone for a long time, even though I had my family. They didn't understand what was wrong. My ex didn't understand what. She suspected something was wrong, but she didn't know that it was. That I was suffering depression. And it's, you know, people go on, you know, what do you have to be depressed about? It's not that kind of depression. It is a chemical imbalance in the brain. And I was suffering from it. And a lot of people do. A surprising number of people suffer from it. And, you know, I know some people online who suffered from it. And I discovered that I had depression because of, you know, Jerry Berg, aka Barnacles. And because of his channel and how he was talking about his depression and how it made him feel, I realized that's the same thing. And even I went to some dark places. I had certain thoughts about doing certain things because of it. And now he was on the drugs for a while, but the drugs make things worse. Don't let them put you on the pill. Don't let them put you on any of those antidepressants. You look at the side effects, they're almost as bad as having depression itself. Actually, it's worse. So don't let them put you on antidepressants. You know, just eat healthy, and if you've got a lot of negative people around you, especially friends, kind of look for new friends. Kind of look for some more positive people to be around. Because, you know, you surround yourself by more positivity, you'll feel better. And, you know, that's why I started recovering, being around here, because I've got positive friends here who help me out. They didn't realize what was really happening to me, but I think on a subconscious level they knew, and so they slowly helped me, and to the point to where I am now. Now, this last year it came back with a vengeance, but they were here to support me, to help me. So if you have depression, or if you suspect that you have depression, seek some help. You know, it helps to talk to a counselor. There is, I forget the name of it, but there is an online service that will let you chat with counselors who have depression. Just don't bottle it in. It does you no good to bottle it in. It actually hurts you more to bottle it in than anything else. Don't hide it. You know, talk to people. people that will be sympathetic towards your condition, who will actually help you and not be negative towards you or ridicule you or anything. What you want to do is surround yourself with positivity, change things in your life to make things more positive for you, have more positive thoughts, and that will significantly help you. So, and seek help. There's nothing wrong in asking for help when you've got depression or you've got a serious problem. There's nothing wrong. It's not a weakness. It is not, admitting something. It's not anything bad. It's not anything bad to admit that you've got a problem. So, thanks for watching, everybody. No one's come into chat or Discord. I can tell. Oh, you know what? I didn't have my headphones on. Dang it. Anyone in Discord? Oh, dang it. Hold on. My big mistake. No. No, it doesn't look like anybody signed in. Oh well. I should have had these on in case someone did come on. Well, live and learn. Anyway, again, if you have an issue, don't suffer alone. Get some help. Talk to people. It actually helps. I've been Mike TheZorch. That's why I do these videos, because it does help. Even if there's no one on the other end right now, it does help. It helps me not bottle the stuff up. It's not good for you. Anyway, again, Mike TheZorch. Thanks for watching.